Hello and welcome to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where, as you can see, I'm on my laptop today as we endeavour to continue this record of bringing you videos every day, or 2 videos every day since the start of the first COVID lockdown. So needs must, July is a holiday month for both Mark and me, and that's why I'm on the laptop. I hope it's okay. I hope the sound quality is up to snuff. But look at this treasure that we're going to be unearthing together. It's Rat Run 6 Equilibrium by Marty Sears, the brand new one, in which Finkz the rat, there she is, Finkz the rat has to get to the cupcake. We've done the first 5 of these on the channel. They've all been absolutely magnificent. This is the 6th in the series. I think it's got something like a 98% approval rating on Logic Masters. Only 2 stars out of difficulty, so that might mean I'm in for a slightly easier ride than sometimes today, but we shall see. I absolutely adored this series, Marty, so don't bring it to a close anytime soon. Now, what do I want to tell you about today before we read the rules for the puzzle? Not very much, actually. I've got some birthdays to catch up on, so why don't we do that? I've written these in my beach puzzle book. I don't know if you can see this. I'll try and show you. Taketa. It's a Japanese puzzle book. This is volume 8. Anyway, so these are the birthdays today. Graham, this was for the 21st, so I'm very late with this one. I'm sorry about that. I hope that you did get your devil's food cake, a chocolate cake, I think, of which I can approve. Next to the triplets, Heather, Hope and Holly. You turned 51 back on July the 16th. I'm sorry I'm a bit late with this message. But I think if I'm right in saying that Heather and Holly are actually identical twins within the triplets, and they both watch the channel. And I think Hope doesn't watch yet, but no, hope springs eternal. I hope one day will. But I hope the 3 of you had an absolutely brilliant birthday, obviously. Next, Andrew. Andrew, July the 13th was your birthday. And I know I think did this mark the anniversary of 1 year watching? It might have done. Andrew, I remember, was, I think, in the military and deployed in Jordan, but might now be back in the US. Andrew, thank you for watching and thank you for the kind emails. And then Millie. Millie, you turned 23 on July the 18th. I know this because your partner Seb wrote to us, and Seb was also kind enough to send something I hadn't seen, which was some art you made. I think you're a cartoonist. This is brilliant. This was when I did the Steve Pemberton crossword that was featured on the quiz show, or the game show. I know, quiz show. I know, maybe neither of those is quite right, but Taskmaster anyway. That's me. Saying Bobbins. So I was really touched by this, Millie. Thank you very much for making that. You can check out Millie's artwork at applemill with 1L _. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description. But Millie, I hope you had an absolutely brilliant birthday. Now, let's turn our attention to Rat Run 6. Oh no, there was something else as well. Oh yeah, if you enjoy the channel, you know the drill. The best Sudoku club on earth is over on Patreon. We've got a brand new Sudoku hunt coming up for you at the start of August. So be prepared. 4 o'clock on August the 1st. That goes live. Anyway, these are the rules of Rat Run 6 Equilibrium by Marty Sears. They are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Yeah, actually, it's worth mentioning, I think, when we do these Rat Run puzzles, if you look at, you can see the 3x3 boxes, but they're slightly obscured by the maze, the labyrinth we're going to have to run here. So that's a 3x3 box, that's a 3x3 box, that's a 3x3 box, etc. Hopefully that's clear. Now, the aim of the experiment today, Finkz the rat must reach the cupcake by finding a path through the maze. The path must not visit any cell more than once, cross itself, or pass through any thick maze walls. As well as moving orthogonally, Finkz may move diagonally if there's a 2x2 space in which to do so. but may never pass diagonally through a round wall spot on the corner of a cell. And okay, so we've got a few of those actually. A few more than usual, I want to say, in these puzzles. So I think that means that if we look at that space there, that is completely devoid of walls. And have I got, I don't know if on my laptop I have the pen. I have got the pen tool turned on. So we could do a move like, oh dear, we could do a move like that. That would be a potential move for Finkz to make. But what Finkz couldn't do is that as a move. Because although diagonal movements are normally allowed, they're not allowed to go through sort of rounded wall spots. And so similarly, Finkz couldn't do that either. That would be too naughty for words. Teleports, right. Entering a yellow teleport will cause Finkz to be instantly transported to the other teleport. From there, she can continue her journey. The teleports contain the same digit. Right, so there's a teleport here. There's only 2 teleports, so Finkz is going to have to go into one teleport, be catapulted out the other end, and then go and find the cupcake. Now, one-way doors, Finkz may only pass directly through a purple arrow if moving in the direction the arrow is pointing. An arrow always points to the smaller of the 2 values it sits between. So, if Finkz was going this way, Finkz couldn't go like that, because relative to her direction, the arrow is sort of pointing in the wrong direction, so it prevents movement through the arrow. And then we've got blackcurrants. Cells connected by a blackcurrant are in a 1:2 ratio, so one of the digits is double the value of the other. Not all possible blackcurrants have been given, so let's find a blackcurrant. There's a blackcurrant. So if that was a 2, this could be a 1, because 2 is double 1, or it could be a 4, because 4 is double 2. So one of those 2 possibilities would be correct. And then we have the test constraint. These are always the things that bite in Marty's Rat Run series. So in this experiment, the sum of the digits on the path before teleporting must equal the sum of the digits on the path after teleporting. So there is some, I suppose that's why it's called equilibrium. We have to achieve a balance between the post-teleport and the pre-teleport world. Do have a go. These puzzles are brilliant. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So here, for once, it is very clear that, oh, hang on, I need to put the pen tool back on, that Finkz has got to do that at least to start. And, oh, okay, so one thing I've noticed, yeah, if we look at the teleport in the corner, yeah, or to put this a different way, there's actually a smiley face in and around the cupcake. I've just noticed there's sort of 2 eyes and a mouth. But to get to the smiley face region, how do we get there at all if we don't use the teleport? You can't get there because you'd have to go the wrong way through a one-way door. So to get to this area, oh sorry, not used to this mouse today. To get to that area of the grid, that's a truly dreadful contrast I've managed. The contrast of blue on yellow. That's contrast of white on white. And in between the moon and you, angels get a better view of the crumbling difference between wrong and right. Don't get distracted. Although that is round. Anyway, what I'm thinking about is that to get to the blue area, and therefore the cupcake, you must go through the teleporter. So Finksz's initial journey is going to be to this teleporter, which will take her through to here, whereupon she can get to the... hang on, that's quite interesting as well, isn't it? Because don't I have to correct, or don't I have to equalise the path? It's the digits on the path rather than the length of the path. Yeah, okay, so to get from here to there, I've got to take... the path has to have the same total as to get from here to here. That's going to be difficult. Actually, yeah, that's going to be very difficult because something else I've noticed, that junction. So Finkz, if she eventually, well, in fact, look, Finkz is going to have to go through there, I'm just noticing, have to go through there. Can't go through here then, because that would be a one-way door from the direction Finkz is going. Can't go through here, because that would be a one-way door. So Finkz is going to go there. Finkz then can't go through this one-way door, so Finkz is going to go there. So Finksz's journey is going to take in at least bits of box 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 2. And then if she doesn't rinky-dink through box 3, yeah, well, she's still going to have to go through there at some point. And then there to get to the teleport. So, okay, there's some enormous constraint here between, I mean, it almost looks impossible, to be honest, because we've got to, Finkz is going to have to pick up quite a lot of digits, whatever the path looks like, to get from here to the top left corner of the grid. But then once here, even if we took the longest path we possibly could to get to the cupcake, let's see, we could rinky-dink, couldn't we? We could. Yeah, that's interesting. You can rinky-dink it. You can totally rinky-dink it like that. So that would be the longest possible path Finkz could take. And we can work out from the secret how long that path, how many digits that path could possibly consume. Now, this is a secret I share with many of my very favourite people, but if you're watching this video, do not worry, you are definitely one of my favourite people. A 3x3 box of a Sudoku, because of the rules of Sudoku, contains the digits 1 to 9 once each, so I know those blue squares in some order are the digits 1 to 9, and if you sum the digits 1 to 9 you get 45. So the blue digits are a maximum of 45. Now if we maximise those purple digits at the bottom, we could put 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in there, which sums to 35. So the absolute maximum path that Finkz could take to get from the teleport to the cupcake is 80. 45 and 35, that is 80. Right, so we've got 80 to play with to get Finkz from here to there. So we are almost certainly going to have to be incredibly efficient. Although, actually, no, we can go diagonally, can't we? Yeah, if we go, so if I return to box 1, I am going to have to take at least 5 cells to get across box 1 because of the way that the walls work. So, I mean, if I go down there, I have to take 6 cells in box 1, but if I do that, I could do it in 5 cells. So what I'm thinking is that the minimum, the triangular number for 5 is 15. The minimum I could put onto that strand there, this strand, is 15's worth of digits. That could be 10's worth of digits. How can we navigate? Yeah, okay. I'm going to put in a different color, sort of suggested most efficient pathway. See that? Yeah. Now it's you can traverse box 7 in 4 digits like that, or like that actually, or like that. There are loads of ways of doing it, but you can get through box 7 with only 4 digits. You can get out of box 4 with only taking 4 digits on the path, but again there seems to be options to how you do that, if you could do that as well. But that's probably forced if you're going to be as efficient as you can be in box 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, you see, you have to take 5. You've got to take 5 through the middle box, and you could take 4 in box 2, but it would be ambiguous again. Right, so I'm just going to do a quick count. So we could have 4 there, So that's, if they were the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4, they would sum to 10. We could have 1, 2, 3. We could have 4 there, so that's 20. We worked out we could put 4 in here, but in a variety of ways. That's 30. 4 in here is 40. Then 5 in here, so we're up to 55. 5 in here, we're up to 70. And 4 in here sometimes is 80. So there is equilibrium. We have achieved equilibrium. Well, we've sort of achieved it. But what we know is that what Marty has done here is built some nonsense of a path that it has to look like this on the right. So that this area has to do this in order to maximize the length of path to 80. These have to be, are we going to use colours to this? Or, you see, what I could do, I don't know what the best way of doing this, I could do that and this, but that's not me, is it? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use colours, I think. So we have to have a colour for low digits. What should that be? Blue, probably. And then we have to do that. That's totally forced now, so we can change that. We can change that to red, because if it wasn't that path, we'd take more than 4 digits in box 8, which we're not allowed to do anymore. And we have to take 4 digits exactly in box 7, but we don't know where they are, except that we don't take that one anymore. Yeah, we don't take this one because my blue colour is indicating a digit from 1, 2, 3, and 4. So look in the bottom row, we've got 4 cells coloured with a 1, 2, 3, 4 digit. So this can't also be a blue digit, or there would be a repeated digit. One of these digits would have to repeat. So we have to move up there. And now look, we've got 4 digits in row 8, 4 blue digits. So we have to come up here and we have to go do it on the diagonal, or we're going to take too many digits. So that's the path so far. These have to be blue digits. I can see. Hang on, I'm going to have to correct some of my thingies here. Technical term. There we go. We've corrected the thingies. Oh, hang on. I've had another idea. Okay, so these are blue definitely. And one of these is blue. But the thought I had actually is not to do with this. Wasn't there a rule that said the teleporter has to have the same digit in it? Yes, there is. Okay, so let's think about how that works. This digit, we know that this sequence contains the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 by force. And this collection of digits down here contains the digits 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the only common digit there is 5. So I am going to make 5 a special colour. I'm going to make it green, because then I can divide the rest of the grid into high digits and low digits. So these are all high digits, which I'll make orange. So you can see things like, we can't put 5 on a black dot, because if we do, the other digit would have to be 2.5, not a Sudoku digit, or 10. So 5 is in one of those cells. Now 5 can't be here, because it would need to be greater than a digit here, which would axiomatically be blue, but I've had my 4 blues in this box. So 5 is in one of those 2 by Sudoku, which we now can resolve by using the 5 in the corner. So that's a 5. This is a green. We can't put 5 on a black dot. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful. So 5 over here has the opportunity to live in the cupcake. It's in one of those squares. 5's in one of these squares. So how are we going to work out? Well, if that's 5 in the corner, we know those squares on the rest of the path in box 1 are all blue, aren't they? And that, look, gives us all 4 blues in column 3. So these are, oh, this is good. Right, look, on a blackcurrant here, we've got a high and a low digit. Oh, sorry, that is ambiguous. I thought it was going to be done, but it's not. This could be 3 or 4, because this has to be from 6, 7, 8, or 9. But actually, there are 2 choices. But that forces the path to go there. So we get another one there. Now we've got all of the blue digits in column 2, so we can do this. And now the path must go there. And then we can make that orange. And the path through box 4 is fixed. This is lovely, isn't it? It's just lovely. Now those have got to be orange. This has got to be orange. It can't be 5. That's presumably got to be orange. That's got to be orange. It can't be 5, and it's not blue. I don't know if it's necessary to do this colouring, but I'm finding it quite enjoyable to do it this way. Now this digit, look, it's definitely not 5, but it is on the path, so it must therefore be blue. And that does all the blues in the column. So anything in this column that can't be 5 needs to be turned orange. So that's orange. That is a, what is that? Oh, that's one of the one-way doors. Actually, I'm just going to tidy up those. I couldn't see what that was for a moment. Okay. So we know that 5 is in one of these squares. Oh, 5 can't be on the black dot, so 5's in one of those 2 squares, which means this isn't 5. Okay, so I've got the 5 now by Sudoku in box 8, which means that's orange. So 5 is going to be in a very limited number of places in box 2, but it's not on the path here, is it? We need to get from here to here with just blue digits to keep our total down to 80. These are both blue because they're definitely path and they're not 5, which means all of these are now orange. We've got our final orange. Oh, that's useful, isn't it? Yeah, look at column 6. Now oh no, it's not useful, because the path could go diagonally in box 2. We've got to be careful there. So it could go here or here. But this square is definitely orange. So now, look at this column. We've got 4 oranges. So this is a blue and a 5. So it's that sort of shading, which means this is definitely orange. It can't be the 5. This is going to be orange. Exactly the same sort of logic. I've done all my oranges in row 4, and I've got a 5, so these are all blue. That's on a dot, and yeah, that's really good. It's on a dot, but it sees 4 blues, so it's an orange, and therefore we've got this situation going again. That's got to be a 3 or a 4, that's got to be a 6 or an 8. But we can't play the same sorts of games in box 6, can we? Because actually every single digit is on the path, which is a rarity in this puzzle. So, how do we do this? That square has got to be blue, because it's definitely not 5, and it's definitely not orange. Strange noises. This house has strange noises. Okay. Alright, I might be about to get badly stuck now, I think. Can we do... Oh, I don't know. Where am I meant to look here? I've got to put 5 in one of these, Oh, look here. There's another orange-blue blackcurrant, so let's at least see if that's useful. So what's on this blackcurrant? Yeah, this is a totally blue blackcurrant, which means it must have a 2 on it, I think, because it's either going to be a 1 and a 2, or it's going to be a 2 and a 4. That's I see. If you get a totally blue blackcurrant, I know that sounds strange, but it sort of does make sense in the context of the puzzle. If you do get a totally blue blackcurrant, then you probably shouldn't eat it, but also it will have a 2 on it. So this is from either a 1, 2 or a 2, 4, and that is not a 2, which I think means I get a digit that's not 5 into the puzzle. And now 2 is up here by a process known as bluification. That, yeah, I don't know what that digit is, 1, 3 or 4. But this has to have a 2 on it, doesn't it? This is exactly the same sort of thing. So now 2 in box 9 is positioned. Which is, okay, yes, that's lovely. Because we can ask a question now about where 2 is in row 4. Because I've pencil marked 2's into this domino in box 5. And wherever the 2 is in box 4, it's definitely not in row 4, is it? So the only place 2 can go in row 4 is here by Sudoku. Now I'm noticing that because the 2 in box 4 is in one of these, we can ask whether the 2 goes in column 3, look. You get this sort of X-wingy pattern, which is going to place it here, here, and there. Okay, that was not the one we were hoping for, but have we actually just filled in all the 2's? No, we haven't, but we've got 6 of them placed, and a sort of an unresolvable pattern without further input to come. So this digit is 1, 3 or 4. Ah, look at this column. I hadn't noticed this. I've got 4 blues. So anything that's not a 5 has to be orange, which includes this digit. But the problem is that a lot of 5's could exist. So these are either blue or green. Oh, but look, I've got 4 blues in row 5. That's suddenly brought that home to me. So I can't have a 5th. That's got to be a 5. So this is not, A, it's not 5. B, it is blue. Wow, it is blue. So that digit is, I see it's just 1, 3 or 4, isn't it? Sorry, I thought that might be better, but it's not. These are no longer 5. And they both have to be orange now. So one of these is 5. But do I know what this is? Well, okay, you can't have a totally orange blackcurrant. Because an orange blackcurrant is even more inedible than a blue blackcurrant, I'm going to argue. If it's orange, you definitely shouldn't eat it. So, yeah, imagine this was double orange. That would be saying that one of these digits is double the other, but they're both selected from 6, 7, 8 and 9. That's nonsense, isn't it? So that's blue, which means, again, that's the 3 or 4. That's a 6 or 8. So this is now a 7 or a 9. Because it's high, but it's not 6 or 8. 1 is, oh, that's lovely. Look at the corner. That can't be a 1. Because it's on an inequality sign, this would have to be a 0. So that is the only place for 1 in column 9, and it's blue, completing the panoply of blues, placing orange here. That must be useful, he says. Yeah, that's a 1 by Sudoku. So this isn't a 1. 1 is in this domino in box 4, so it's also not here. So this has become a 2, 4 pair, which means this is a 1, 3 pair, which means this is a 4. I'm not used to my keyboard either today, but we're still trotting along with some hope, aren't we? 3, 2. This must be a 3, 4 pair. So that's a 3, 4 pair. Oh, I see. I've got all my blues in this row. So that's got to be green, which we know is the 5. Therefore, this one is A, not 5, and B, not green. So that tells us the path. The path goes like that. Have we done the path? We've done Finkz. Finkz, we know exactly where Finkz moves. We just don't know the digits through which she moves quite yet, although we have parcelled them up mostly between high and low. Okay, I now see something else. That 5 in box 2 makes both of those squares orange. So this square is blue actually. So I'm expecting that, so that's a 3 or a 4. It's not a 1 or a 2. So we've got an ambiguity. This one is green and orange, but this one is green and blue. So something is going to have to help us. Oh, well, I can see it. Look at this column. I've got 4 blues already. So that can't be blue. It must be green, which means it's 5, which means this is 5, and is therefore green. Therefore, this is orange. This is blue. Get rid of the corner pencil marks, and that is where all the 5s go. So it should just, there should be a sort of 2, maybe slightly interactive Sudokus because of the blackcurrants, but otherwise they should just be almost separate puzzles now. That might be foolhardy what I've just said, but let's see. This is a 3 or a 4. There's a 3-4 pair I've now seen in this column 4, so that's got to be a 1. That means that's a 2, so that's got to be 4 now, so that's got to be 3. Now this has got to be 3, 3, 1, 1, 4. This has got to be 1. This digit's a 3, so that's a 3, that's a 4, that's a 4. Okay, that's a 2, that's presumably going to be helpful. So these are 4, 3, 3, 1, 3, 4. Now that's going to be, that's going to get us. Look, all of the blackcurrants now, which were so inedible, are now going to be critical, because they're going to give us a way of disambiguating the digits in orange, because otherwise there's a few inequality signs, but the blackcurrants are giving us perfect digits. This 4 has to be in a relationship with 8. This 3 has to be in a relationship with 6. This 3 has to be in a relationship with 6. This has to be in a relationship with 8. Ooh, so we nearly get the 8 in box 5 as a result of that. Okay, so this is a 7 or a 9 in the corner. We might need more blackcurrantage. How do we find more blackcurrant? There's a thingy there, thingy here. Yeah, there's a few inequalities. I guess that's going to be the way that we have to resolve some things. I mean, this can never be a 9, can it? Because it's on the tip of a sort of inequality arrow. So the 9 is definitely in one of these squares, which means this square is 6 or 7, which isn't brilliant actually. That can't be a 9. Is it 9s we're meant to be looking at? 9 is in one of those 2 squares. We'll just have a think about 9s for a moment. 9 can't be on. Yeah, that's interesting. 9 can't be here because it would be on the tip of this would be at least a 10, and that is going to place, look, the 9 in box. Yeah, and this inequality does it up here. There's a 9 in this domino by Sudoku, and it can't be on the tip of that inequality, so 9 goes there. Now, yeah, nearly. Well, nearly. 9 is now in one of these 2 cells in box 7. So we can ask where 9 goes in row 8. It's in this domino. And that can't be a 9, can it? So I'm not sure. I might have run out of ways of chasing these 9s around the grid. No, 9. If the 9 is in one of those 2, that's 9, isn't it? So that's 9. This is good. It's going back. It's going back the right way again now. Now 9 can't go there. It would be in the wrong place. So 9 goes in the corner. This becomes 7. That becomes 9. That must be 8 by Sudoku. 8. This must be 8 by Sudoku, because the 8 in box 8 is in one of these 2. Now we can ask where 8 goes in this column. It has to be in one of those 2 squares. That 8 gives us an 8 here. So these 2 digits are 6 and 7. Can we keep going with 8s though? They suddenly seem to be. Yes, how could that be 8 now? This would have to be 9 and it would clash. So this must be 8, this must be 8. It's got a lovely, lovely flow to it, this puzzle. That 9 means this is a 9, I've just noticed. So the cupcake today is a 6 or a 7. These two are 6s and 7s. We need something to disambiguate the 6s and 7s. These are 6s and 7s. These are 6s and 7s. Where is it? Where's the thing that's going to help us to do that? Oh, maybe it's this inequality. It's definitely not this one, is it? This is a 6 or a 7. Now, if that's 8, that's 7, that would probably do a lot of disambiguation. Oh, I can look 6, 6, and there's a 6, 7 pair in column 2, so we have to put 6 in the corner there, which is going to do a little bit for us, although actually that's going to run aground straight away, isn't it? So we're going to end up with a, oh, I see, the 9 up here is doing it. 9, 7, which means this is 9. This is 8 by Sudoku, that's 7. That's 8, that's 7, that's 6, that's 6, that's 7, that's 6, 7, 6, 6, 7. And the cupcake was a 7. Now, have I filled in all the digits? Probably. How long that's taken? Just over half an hour. Oh no, I haven't filled in the digits down here. That's so strange. My brain couldn't see that. Okay, so Finkz today. Finkz was a 1, and the cupcake was a 7. And is it right? Yeah. Oh goodness. Okay. Yes. But that message has popped up not where I expected it. I have to read it to you. Experiment completed successfully. Cells visited 44. Blackcurrants eaten 5 of various colours. One-way doors used 0. The teleportation went exactly to plan, although approaching it tentatively, Finkz seemed to realise the importance of the moment. Molecular reassembly at the exit teleport was instantaneous and with near perfect fidelity, after which no change in cognitive function was detected. Oh, I see, sorry, I thought it was a clause, but that was actually the end of the sentence. Experiment 7. Oh, so that's the next one. We'll study Fink's performance when faced with a choice of teleports. That is superb. What a brilliant puzzle. Marty Sears does it again. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a go at that. Wasn't it brilliant? And I hope the sound was okay. Let me know. Drop me a comment. I really like the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.